very West. And you, an idiot, if you're not watching Southern Comic Geek. You hear that, Stimpy? Yeah, I heard it. I'm a Northern Comic Geek.
What is up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you live. At least I'm live right now. You might be watching me on the rewind. In either case, that's fine. We're here talking about Dallas Fan Expo. That will be here in just a few weeks. I want to talk about some of the people that are going to be there, some of our plans, and we have a couple of other shows lined out. And if you haven't guessed it already, when I say we, I'm not talking about the other person in top of this head here. I'm talking about the other guy whose logo was in that last intro, and that's Shelby Comics. What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? How are you doing, my friend?
Matt, I'm doing fabulous on this Sunday.
A comic geek brother from another mother.
Yeah, well, see, you're a Southern comic geek as well because you are here in the South.
That I am, if you can't tell by my accent.
Well, and so, yeah, we decided to get together, do some joint efforts in going to Dallas Fan Expo, which is in just a couple of weeks. I got to looking at the thing the other day, and that's why I was messaging you, Shelby. I was like, oh, my goodness, it's fixed to be here because it's going to be here June the 17th or the 19th. If you're here and you're watching this live, or if you're watching this on the rewind, put it in the comments below. But if you plan on being at Dallas Fan Expo, let us know. We'd like to at least say hey and get a picture taken with you or something to that deal. We do have a couple of people in the chat already. We got Legion of Comics. What's going on, Mark? Mark, one of the channel members, and I believe he's got a show here tonight as well. Sleeping Collectibles, another channel member. Appreciate him for dropping by. We got Starscream 69. Till all are one. That's right, Starscream. What's up? What's up? And Carlos Collects says he is going to be there. Carlos, it's okay for you to be there, but if you bring Paul, all bets are off. If you bring Paul, all bets are off, okay? Just remember that. Just think about the company you keep, okay, Carlos? You really need to up your game.
And he's going to be there with me, so.
That's not saying much, right? Schwab for Comics, what's going on? How are you doing as well? So, yeah, man, we decided to get together and doing this thing at the Dallas Fan Expo, and it's action-packed. Funny thing about that is that I was just thinking, because last year Dallas Fan Expo had got moved to September, and I had told several people that there was some good creators there, but it was mostly a celebrity type event. Yeah. And lo and behold, I get an email that says we are back. And we're a huge comic event or something to that effect. Yep. I'm like, is Big Brother listening? Yeah, so Carlos Collects knows what's up. He knows how Paul is. Hashtag pick on Paul. That's right. But yeah, so man, they have got an action-packed lineup. I mean, what do you think about this lineup? I know we're going to go over it.
Yeah, we're going to go over some of it. So yeah, first let me say that you know, for a couple of years now, maybe you and I have met up at, I know, at least maybe 4 conventions, you know, and have had dinner a couple of times, you know, if we make it, you know, if I make it there the night before. So I think it's only natural, yeah, that we maybe do something together, you know. We talked about it a little bit, but yeah, I remember you and I being at Fan Expo last year, because that was the one where I didn't get that Alex Schoenberg.
Yep.
Post.
You were looking at it though.
I looked at it for a long time, but you know, that's fine. But yeah, so I'm very excited. I mean, I think they are going to have the celebrities as usual. I think they're having the Hobbits this time, right? Which was canceled last time. So a lot of great celebrities: Katie Sackhoff, Michael Roker, Brendan Fraser, which is a great one. I'm not much on the anime people. Jay and Silent Bob's gonna be there. And let's get, I know Jim Lee, Donnie Cates, of course, Stegman.
Well, talking about Jay and Silent Bob, they actually listed Kevin Smith under the comic creators. So I wonder if he's going to be put over there with the on the artist alley, or is he going to be over there?
No, I probably not. You know, because his creation list was what he tried to write Daredevil or something at one time, and
Daredevil and Green Arrow, I think, is the two.
Yeah, I think Green Arrow he did, yeah. And I think there was like a long delay between issues with Daredevil.
Yeah.
I remember it not being very rememberable. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you know, that's how creative types typically are, right? You know, they got all these things bouncing around in their head, but getting them to put it down on paper in a timely fashion, that's what they love Jim Shooter for at Marvel.
Yeah, you know, you had a lot of people in other industries that crossed over, right? You had what's his name, Brian Metzger, who wrote the mystery novels, and I think whatever the
Identity Crisis you're talking about with DC, Brian Metzler, is that what you're saying?
Brian Metzler, is that who I'm thinking of? You know, he wrote like non-fiction novels and stuff.
Right.
It's his that movie. Oh, I can't think of that movie now. You know, it was based on his book and stuff. You've also had who was I just thinking of?
I don't know.
Oh, J.J. Abrams wrote the little Spider-Man story. So yeah, you've had people from other industries crossing over. And just let everybody know too, real quick, while I'm thinking about it, please sub me up on YouTube. My YouTube channel's right here. I'm making a push. Thunder God, what up? Making a push to, I'm almost at 500 subscribers, and I need to get a lot more because that opens myself up, and like Jason knows, opens ourselves up to be able to provide more content. You know, I don't care anything about monetization or anything like that, but it allows us to be able to get like these special accesses to the conventions and be able to bring more content and stuff. So we will have a follow-on show before. Yes, I am a real person. We will have a follow-on show on my channel here in about a week. So I'm not sure how many more we're going to plan between now and convention time. I was just looking at the countdown on the website. It said 11 days. So
yeah, it'll be here before you know it. And my schedule is action packed for the week leading up to that. So so let's talk. So I didn't know if Thunder God was referring to me being a guy, or hadn't seen this guy forever. He must be talking about you, because he said you're a real person. So
I'm a real person.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm not a made-up character.
So what's going to happen though? Thunder God is going to contact me and say, "Hey, you want to be on my auction Thursday?" And all these Thursdays I've been open, leading up to this, he hadn't had an auction. But then when I start getting busy again, he's going to say, "Well, let's have an auction." So,
and I'll go ahead and hit say that I'm busy too for the next month. So
but anyhow, let's show some.
Let's show it. Go ahead, pull up the website and let's kind of walk through it. One of the things that I'll say, just as a side note, Thunder's trying to get 700. Sub up Thunder. Look up him on the old YouTubes. One thing I'll have to say is when you go to the main page of the website, nowhere does it tell you actually where the damn thing's going to be. And so it's at Richardson Convention Center, if I'm not mistaken.
It's
right there. K Bay Hutchinson. Sorry, but that's in Richardson, Texas, I think. Anyway, yeah, so they changed that. So now you can see it in small print.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the website, and of course, especially for tonight's episode, we're really just talking about the comic creators here. But as you can see, I mean, Jim Lee, favorite artist growing up.
Jim Lee.
Yeah, definitely big. The problem is one, the expense of his autographs and the fact that he's only going to be there on Saturday. That sucks. Because I believe that originally he was going to be there for 2 days.
I thought so too. So whenever you told me right before the show, Saturday only, oh man, you know that line's going to be horrible.
Oh, yeah. And so I really, there's a couple of things I would like to get him to sign that have gotten signed by other creators that worked on the book too. Because this was the one, I've got a list.
What you got?
A list of all the signatures, and I got a short box of books to get signed. And Jim Lee was one I didn't really know what I wanted to do, which one that I wanted to go with. Because like most creators, what if they charge you anything, it's what, $10-$20, you know, it's not
yeah, I think Donnie Cates and Stegman, the last time I got stuff signed by them, it was $5 each.
Yeah.
But most are around 10. Some can be $30. Like certain creators, if you want a specific book that they're popular for, they'll charge as much as $30 for it.
Yeah, Liefeld does that. If you want him to sign like New Mutants 87, New Mutants 98, I think X-Force 1 falls into that. It's a certain price, and then everything else is cheaper.
Yeah, Bagley does the same thing with Lethal Protector. So,
well, but you know, a lot of times I try to get a book that they don't. There's always that one book that everybody sees, but I really like to get one. Yeah, and that might be the case because Thunder, as much as I've got to do Friday, I could probably get most of it done Friday, but I'm not waiting around all day Saturday just for 2-3 signatures, you know. So.
No, I agree with you. I had a lot of luck last year, I think, with Friday getting the lines weren't as bad.
Right.
Saturday, you know, there'll just be tons and tons of people, and I don't think you and I either one can stay for Sunday. But yeah, so Donnie Cates, of course, local Texan guy. He's in Austin. I've seen him several times. What you and I have the opportunity, so people know with transparency, is that we will be there as press covering the convention. So expect a nice, cool video after the convention that we will be putting together. Donnie's one of those I wouldn't mind get a interview with. Stegman, his longtime partner on Venom and King and Black. Usually they sit together and sign.
Right.
Ryan Otley, talk to me about him. I'm familiar with the name, but
yeah, so Otley and Stegman actually have a very similar art style. As a matter of fact, I was reading an article with about the new Hulk series and the fact that Ryan Otley was drawing it as opposed to Ryan Stegman. And Donnie said, well, it kind of feels like I'm cheating on Ryan, right? but because they do so much together. And their art styles are so similar, Ryan's and Otley's. So Otley probably is the best known. He did a little bit of Amazing Spider-Man a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is Invincible. So once the original artist wore out on Invincible, the guy that created, what's the guy's name? Robert Kirkman. Yeah, Robert Kirkman, you know, got Otley on the book, and that's most of what people know about Invincible is Ryan Otley's artwork. Okay. So he's currently on Hulk. I'm not a terrible big fan of Hulk.
I'll be honest, I read the first issue, and I just haven't had a chance to keep up with it.
Yeah, so I mean, there is that. Interestingly enough, if Mark is still in the chat, he actually commented on Donnie's post, and so then they took it down. Mark told him it was crap, but anyhow, so yeah, Tom King's going to be there. There's several things I've got for Tom King to sign.
Now he's only a writer, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So
now he will draw like stick figures for you or whatever like that. But yeah, he
did the Court of Owls and stuff. That was Tom King, wasn't it?
No, that's Scott Snyder. So Tom King started with Batman Rebirth #1 and went until Tinian picked up on it.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's his biggest run. Of course, he had Mr. Miracle, the Strange Adventures, which with Adam Strange, several different things. And most of the stuff that I'm getting him to sign are things that I'm going to get other people to sign too, not the least of which is this guy over here showing a Spawn, and that's Francisco Matina.
No, I was just about to say, I never have seen Matina at a convention. I can't think of one here in the South that he's been to.
He was supposed to have been at Fan Expo in 2020. And that's when the crap hit the fan, right? And so
yeah.
So he that bailed out on that. But with Matina, I got a Rorschach cover. I've got Batman, of course, several things that I want to get Matina to sign because he's just a dope artist. So.
Now I'll have to admit, and some people know this about me, is I love prints. That's why I'm with Jason here and I'm asking questions because there may be other Marvel people that don't know DC either. Thunder, I saw your comment. I was ignoring it. Matina is one of those. They always have prints and stuff usually at their tables. I would love to get a beautiful, large Spawn print or something of his and get a nice big signature on it. That's what I would like to do. I don't think I'd want to do a comic book with him, but a print and something really cool.
I've got this is one of the things I like to do when I go to conventions is get sketch covers. And so I'm thinking I've got this Justice League sketch cover blank and wanting to do let them divide it off into fours and divide it off into fours like this. And then have, one artist do one Batman, one artist do Superman, one do Wonder Woman. And that would definitely be dope. It probably wouldn't be that expensive per artist anyway because it's not going to be something like super color. And
have you ever done that before? Because I've never asked for a. Go ahead. I've seen
other people do it before.
You have?
Yeah.
And usually it's about $40-$50 or something.
It depends on the artist. So, this is, so you got a back too. So if you're going to do fours, you got 8 members of the Justice League, right? So this is Justice League. Cool. Yeah. Justice League 41 from the New 52, which be cool if I could get Jason Fabok because he was the artist on this. And he's a really cool Batman artist too. What's up, Joey Bag of Sevens? What is happening?
Hey, Joey.
Yeah, so that I plan on getting some sketches, and I keep saying I need to save my money prior to going, but for this reason.
That's that's where we just talking about before the show is that hey, Mondays, Madhouse, there's going to be some sales going on.
We will be emptying loan boxes, folks.
We will be emptying boxes. Now, Tony Daniel, that is a name I recognize. Noctera, which I know that Thunder was really big on.
Yeah.
I did get the first issue. I didn't get any of the others. I hadn't read it. What did he do on Batman? It shows him listed here as Batman.
Yeah, so the main thing he did on Batman is I think he did it during Morrison's run on Batman, but towards the end of Volume 1, so like the 600s, you might have seen that cover with the Batman of, was it Zero Al or something?
Okay.
It's a special cover. It's kind of expensive, but Tony Daniel done that.
Okay.
So Noctera is a series that he's currently doing with Scott Snyder. And so some of the Nocteras I've got signed are already signed by Scott Snyder, which Scott Snyder is going to be in Memphis in September, which I plan to go to as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what he's done. And I had thought about him being one of the people, if I could get him to do one of the Justice League characters.
Yeah. Now we saw Humberto Ramos last time, and I got several Strange Academies signed by him. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
Again, he didn't charge very much for his signatures or anything. Wasn't Jay Lee at the show last time?
He was. I think I have one book to get signed by Jay Lee, and it's something that I might have missed. Oh, I know what it is. It's a Batman Superman number that I've got a piece of art for. So I want to get him to sign it for that reason. But other than that, it's not high up on the priority list if I run out of time. But now, I did stuff signed for him last time too.
Yeah. Now, last time I did get some variants signed by him that he had at his table.
Mm-hmm.
I sold them very quickly. I even got a couple of them graded that came back 9.8s, which I was really happy of.
Wow.
Not a very talkative person. Okay.
Yeah.
He does not talk much, and he has people around him that normally you hand off books to them and stuff. Some people will just like Humberto, he's just sitting right there. He'll just take your book. Jay Lee is not one of those type people. I think I want to get some early Namor signed by him because I'm a big Namor fan. So I need to go to the warehouse and dig out some of those. I do not know this Bjorn Barnes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love this Spawn picture.
Oh man! So my understanding is that that he does models prior to drawing this stuff, and it is super dope. He done a Hulk #1. I think it was a Frankie comic exclusive. That was an homage to Hulk 181, and it's just super fire. That's actually the only book I plan to get signed by him. But I'm also getting it signed by Otley and Cates too while I'm there. So,
that's smart.
Yeah, since Otley is going to be is doing the interiors on that. But yeah, he's done a lot of Spawn covers, and normally, he's a cover guy. He's not doing any interiors.
Yeah.
So,
Kyle New, probably one of the most popular variant cover artists we've had in the past couple of years. It seems like there's always a Kyle New
right
variant cover somewhere. So
especially Unknown Comics, they do a lot of
Unknown. Yep. I wasn't going to say their name, but another Texas company. They're in San Antonio. I'm sure they'll be at the con.
Yeah.
Alan Quah, again, another popular cover artist that you always see on variants. Just from a reseller point of view, it might be nice to bring a stack if I hadn't sold everything of theirs or something, because so the variant game is tough sometimes, man.
Oh yeah.
So many people have access to those variants that you see prices all over the place, and it's a tough game, man. It's something that I don't like really getting into. Go ahead. Sorry.
What I was going to say was on the variant game. So JP from Spider-Man booth, he will probably be there. He was there last year.
Yeah.
And that's where they get a lot of their signatures. He goes to these shows, and he just gets them to sign a buttload. He got John Jang to sign an awful lot of them while we were there last year. But yeah, so he's going to be probably there, and people like that, or Unknown Comics, because that's their variant.
Yeah,
and that's what they get them to sign. And so you could flood the market potentially. I don't, with Alan Quah, there's like a Rogue cover, a couple of Wolverine covers. I've actually tagged him on the Instagram post on it, and he's commented about it. And so I look forward to meeting him. Not sure about this Goosebumps.
I don't either, and I don't know if that's old Goosebumps or because I remember Goosebumps from I guess the 80s, early 90s books. I'm not sure if this is the same one, if there's new Goosebumps. An interesting note, the author of Goosebumps. He used to be a comic book artist back in the 70s.
Huh.
But yeah, I was going to say something really quick about Alan Qua and Kyle New. It's not very hard to go up to these people and make a deal with them and say, like, I'll drop $1,000 if you'll just sign as many comics as you can, and say in like 30 minutes or an hour or something. Actually, Titan Comics did that with Stan Lee a couple of years ago. They gave him $5,000 and they just brought out everything they freaking could and got him to sign. And their store was flooded with like so many different Stan Lee signatures and stuff. But
yeah, and if you do that, you got to be, in my mind at least, willing to sit on some of that, because if you flood the market, you just shot yourself in the foot, right?
I agree with you, but they yeah. You probably remember my comment about JT last year, but anyway.
So there's Rob's Comics. What's going on, Rob's Comics? Mr.
Hey, Rob's Comics. Welcome.
Loves him some She-Hulk and loves him some foreign editions. So you actually interviewed Rob over on your channel, didn't you?
I did. I hadn't talked to him in a long time. I haven't bought very many foreign books in a while. I actually hadn't bought a lot of anything in a little while. I've been doing video games. But yeah, welcome. And again, if y'all are never seen me before, please go sub me up over on YouTube. And we'll be having some follow-on shows over on my channel and this channel again. The Scorched. I apologize. It looks like Spawn on the cover. I'm not sure who Steven Segovia is.
Yeah, he done some stuff with Spawn lately, but he did some Valiant stuff in the Valiant Rebirth 2012, Ninjak, Eternal Warrior that I'm going to get him to sign. And he most recently, he was the artist on Hellions for Marvel. So the interior artist. So and going back to Kyle New and stuff, they probably would do something like that. The refreshing thing to me about getting to talk to some of these guys, once you get past the language barrier in some cases, is the humbleness and the appreciation of the fans. Whereas a lot of older creators are jaded.
Yeah.
Because of the way they feel Marvel and or DC or creators, flippers, whatever their case is, they're just jaded. And so it's sometimes refreshing to, talk to those people like that are newer in the industry, but really getting a hot streak, and rightfully so, because they're very talented.
Oh, very talented, very talented. Yeah, this Thor, this Hulk Iron Man cover, it looks like the Alan they use it for Alan Qua. Is freaking amazing looking. I don't think I've ever seen that art.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever got past the language barrier when you and I met. I'm never going to say his name right. Sudan.
Author Sudan.
Who was it?
Oh, Miko. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He was super humble and happy. I think he was from the Philippines.
He is.
And they paid for his plane ticket. And I think he said this is one of his first visits to the U.S. And he was just so happy to be there and talk and everything. It was really a joy to talk to him. There was a language barrier, but it's very interesting to hear him talk about, I'm in the Philippines. I never get over here to the States. This is a treat for me, get to be in a nice hotel and stuff. He's talking about making a trip to California, over the next couple of weeks and seeing California for the first time. So it was really cool.
Yeah, he's I've seen him on Comic Art Live, which is where I've gotten into another rabbit hole of original art. He was on there. But yeah, so his what do you call it? Not his agent. Yeah, like his agent. He represents a lot of people from the Philippines, a lot of different artists. And I was like, my goodness, I didn't even think that there were that many people from the Philippines. But yeah, so that he does seem really nice. He will actually be here. We'll see his name in a little bit. as we're scrolling through. Matt Banning.
Well, yeah. Now I was about to say, here you're getting in some of my favorites, right? Is some of these older, and I'm saying older, not in terms of age, but have been around for a while.
Right.
Matt Banning. I recognize a lot of his art here from Batman. And I don't know what he's doing today, to be honest with you.
Well, so I'm getting him to sign a Batman 1 from Rebirth, which is, I think, the cover that you see right here on the screen. Okay. And talking about books that he probably doesn't see all that much. TMNT 53, back from the old Mirage days. He was actually an inker on that book, just one book out of the whole run. And so I've got that book to get him to sign as well.
Cool. John Betty.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I think for these next two, Pat Broderick and John Betty, legendary. You know, these were from the 70s and 80s. Pat Broderick, mostly mid, late 70s, early 80s artist. One of those ham and cheese guys, right? Like, he didn't get popular or anything, but you know, he was just a solid artist that you know, would do these long stints on B to C tier type of comics. Like this one is from Spidey Super Stories.
Mm-hmm.
I am working on a set of Spidey Super Stories, so I definitely have several that I can get, that I plan on getting signed by him. John Betty, almost a kind of a rough Jim Lee looking art there, doesn't it, to you, on the Punisher that it's showing there? But
yeah. Well, and of course he was teamed up with Mike Zack on legendary runs.
That's it. That's what
America.
Yeah.
The Punisher. He teamed up with Kelly Jones Batman. If you remember the 90s, Kelly Jones Batman.
I do. I do. Big bad ears.
Yeah. But yeah, so he was the inker for all that. Of course, Secret Wars. That would be the thing he's probably the most known for. The first Batman book I ever picked up off a newsstand, he inked, is the first appearance of Tim Drake. And I've got him to sign that, and got him to sign it. I've got Pat Broderick, ironically enough, was the artist on that book. The cover artist is George Perez, and I sent in that book to get signed by George
the first Tim Drake, where he's swinging in with the symbol behind him.
No, No, the one where he's on the it shows Robin on the ground, but it's where Tim Drake's introduced. I'll look the
that's not the Scarecrow one, is it?
No, it's not that one. It's Batman 436. First appearance of Tim Drake, later becomes third Robin. So Marv Wolfman is the only signature I'm really looking for on that particular one. But George Perez was obviously, passed earlier this year, and I sent that off and got that signed, and definitely one of the keepers in my collection. But I met Pat Broderick at Pensacon last year, and so he was a really nice guy.
All right, Joshua Cassera, X Lives of Wolverine. That's a current book, I believe.
Yeah, just ended. In the current run of X-Force, which the X Lives of Wolverine, I'm getting Alan Qua did a connecting cover for the X Lives X Deaths. Of course, Joshua did the interiors art, so I'm going to get them both to sign it there.
Okay. Now you're getting to some DC. Dennis Culver, I don't recognize.
Yeah, so Dennis Culver, he's writing. I think he's a writer. But writing a Future State Gotham, which is essentially the Red Hood replacement series now. But he also did Justice League Incarnate, as you see right. Well, it also says Future State Gotham right there too. But Justice League Incarnate, that's a Gary Frank cover, so that's not him. Glenn Fabry.
Now that should be artist, right? Because Garth Ennis was the writer. Did he do all of the Preacher
I don't know if he did all of them. I'm getting some weird stuff signed by him. The Vengeance of Bane. You know, the first appearance of Bane.
Yeah.
There you go.
Really?
Yep. So I've got the Vengeance of Bane.
Show it.
Let's see right here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And let's see what he did on this particular book.
All right, so Beckerman has a couple. First, Beckerman says Beatty is a amazing inker. I agree with you. Great ham and cheeser. Southern Comic Geek, are you on any pre-con sketch lists? Do you know any pre-con?
I should be but I'm not that forward thinking. Because who was it that
How do you get on those?
You have to contact the artist directly.
Really?
Yeah. Tony Daniel had mentioned on his IG that he was
okay. Beckerman said Glenn Fabry was a cover. Oh, or maybe he's asking for cover artist. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So see, Wolfman Fabry is a cover artist, a preacher, he said.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Fabry's the cover artist, a preacher, not the interior. Okay, I got you. Thank you for that correction.
Yeah, always appreciate when the chat can keep us in line here.
Hell yeah.
So Glenn Fabry is the cover artist of Batman, Vengeance of Bane. And he also did the Vengeance of Bane Part 2, The Redemption, did the cover artist for that. So
I'm sure I'm sold out of every Batman book that I own.
He also did Solar Man of the Atom number 60, which is the last issue of the Valiant run of Solar.
Ooh.
I'm going to get that signed as well. Mr. Wards, he did Mr. Miracle, Strange Adventures with Tom King. So there's some stuff and some Batman stuff with Tom King. So I'm actually getting some stuff signed by him because I'm getting Tom King and the other ones to sign it as well. But
all right, so I need to make a list of maybe a few things. Oh yeah.
So he did the interior art for this, and of course Tom King was the writer. So that's one of the ones I'm going to get him to sign. And the way I do it is I just go on my CLZ app and I type up the artist, and then I go, oh man, I didn't even think about that. And so, and a good example of how you can miss one is like Pat Broderick, right? He's not a household name, but to your point, you know, he did a lot of runs that I or other people probably interested in.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he's not that guy that you look at his art and go, oh, that's Jim Lee. Or
No. He had that very and there's a few of them, right, that had that marble house style.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't tell one artist from the other, but they were just, you know, they were good, strong artists that you could put on to these titles that would get everything done on a deadline.
And that's the important thing, right?
That's the important thing.
So Michael Golden, you know, definitely. I've met him several times, got sketches and signatures. So
I've met Michael Golden many times. As a matter of fact, there's a picture back there of the entire Marvel universe that's signed by Michael Golden that I got done. But there's always a new. Okay, Micronauts #1.
Right.
Amazing cover. The Nom. Okay, he was interior, exterior. I mean, just amazing stuff. He did several Star Wars books. I mean, there's just so much great Michael Golden stuff out there that I could fill a short box of stuff I would love to get signed by him because I just love his art so much.
Well, and yeah, that's where you gotta. Myself, a lot of times I make these lists and I come back and I cull it out saying, you know, okay, what's the top 2 books, right? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of her either. She is something else.
Oh yeah. I know you talking
Renee
about. I've met her.
Yeah, she's something else.
Yeah, he's been to the North Dallas Comic-Con several times. I'm not sure if he lives. Maybe he lives in Texas somewhere.
Yeah, I know that
he's here at so many Texas cons.
Right. Yeah. And Excalibur over in Shreveport, he's been there before too. So
He must live in the area.
yeah.
You know, same as like Bagley, and of course, the late Peter Mayhew lived in Texas, and he would always be at the Texas cons.
Yeah. So on these next two, I'm not familiar with them. This Isaac,
you got me either.
You know, I guess they're, you know, good people. I don't recognize their work or have anything that.
Well, I mean, that second book is a DC book.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
But
Tony Harris, Starman, and Ex Machina. Ex Machina, if y'all have never, I think it's 60 issues or something, is the entire run. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. You need to read Ex Machina.
So I'm getting him to sign Savage Dragon #2, where back then the Turtles were an Image comic, and so the Turtles were in the comic, and I got Eric Larson to sign the front. So I just need Harris was the artist. Was he the artist, cover artist, or he was the interior artist one? So he is listed on that book, and so that's what I'm going to get him to sign.
Now, the Starman that he's on, is that that's the newer series? That's not the. Yeah, it's probably the newer series, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if that might be. He said Beckerman said Starman is top 5. Changed my reading when I was a teenager. Wow. Yeah, so it must be old Starman.
Okay, yeah, the one with the orangish cover with him, the #1, the orangish cover of him flying. Yeah, 90 series. Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking. Francisco Herrera.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got several Disney. I'm not a Disney-ania.
Mm-hmm.
I've got several Disney things up on my shelf and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. Greg Horn, yeah. I can't believe Greg Horn is so far down the list.
Well, I mean, that tells you how packed this list is. Of course, Megan Hutchinson Cates, she'll be sitting over there by Donnie because that's his wife.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have anything to get her to sign, which I hate. Because to me it gets kind of awkward because you're like, all right, I'm gonna get everybody to sign but you. I don't like your stuff or whatever. It's the same thing that happened when I went to David Finch's table and I didn't have anything for his wife Meredith to sign.
Yeah, well, right, and then the Dodsons.
Oh, right.
Terry was actually at a show here, small local show here in Houston a couple weeks ago. I would have went if Rachel was going to be with them. But Megan Hutchinson did a couple of crossover variant covers, and she actually did one where she drew Donnie Cates on the cover.
Uh-huh.
And, the crossover girl standing behind him saying, I got some notes.
Yeah.
So I do have that. So that's something to be cool. I can get him, Donnie and Megan to sign. And see if we can go have barbecue with them over in Austin sometime.
So Phil Jimenez is countdown. So I've got a countdown to. It seems like this list is very DC heavy, which I know Mark from Legion of Comics would love. But this, I've got a countdown to Crisis that I've already got signed by. I'll think about it in a minute. And this is one of the ones I'd like to get Jim Lee to sign just because. So Infinite Crisis, I got Infinite Crisis 3 and 5. So that's Jimenez. Which are the Jim Lee covers.
Oh, okay.
First appearance of Robbie Reyes, the new Blue Beetle. And then I've got Countdown to Infinite Crisis. And so this one's already signed by Greg Rucka. And okay. Jim Lee did the cover. Jimenez did the interior. So it'd be really nice to get all those signed. Flo says, I'm hitting the cons like Uncle Beckerman. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna and so Phil Jimenez also had some, or he had a bloodshot, like one bloodshot that I'm gonna get signed by him. And so let's see where we're at. All right, Tyler
Kirkham, way down the list here. It looks like you got the whole Unknown Comics variant cover crew here, right. With Tyler Kirkham, Kyle New, and Alan Qua. Definitely, right. I think the trinity of your Unknown Comics variant artists.
So you know what I'm getting signed by Kirkham, right?
I might dig mine out then.
So the other day I pulled these right out, and I couldn't find the original one, and I'm like, where did I do with it? There's only so many places it could be, and then it dawned on me, it's sitting at CBCS, just like a whole bunch of other books. Too long. So.
Hey, y'all let us know in the chat, since we're going to be in Dallas, if you want us to make a break-in at CBCS and find out where our comic books are.
So Shelby might have to feel me getting hauled off by the police because they've been holding my books ransom for too long. I'm going to feel like Moses. I'm going to say, let my comics go. So there you go.
I know a lot of people love the series Stillwater. I only got to read number 1 of that series. The art is amazing. Of course, you can see here by this little picture from So Lee. Newborn, I don't know. I'll be honest with you.
So, yeah, I don't either. On Clay Mann, I've gotten him to sign some stuff before. I met him in New Orleans the first time. But what was it? Oh, X-Men Legacy. So I got an X-Men Legacy 234. Not a huge issue or anything, but it does have Rogue on the cover. And the reason I'm getting that sign is because there's another artist, this one right here, that did some of the interiors in that one. So
Yak Paquette.
Yep. So Mike McCone.
Mike McCone. I'll say that every time I see a variant Spider-Man cover that I really like, it tends to be Mike McCone art. It's not, it's just strong artwork. I mean, there's nothing exaggerated like you get with maybe your Kirkhams or your Kyle News. It's just strong, good artwork, very anatomically correct. I can't say enough about his Spidey covers. I mean, this one's a great example. Look at the fingers, the way they're detailed, and
check that out, Rob Liefeld. Eat your heart out on those feet. So on Beckerman was talking about Tyler Kirkham. Yeah, I got a sketch cover done with Red Hood and Joker by him a few years ago. So it was $300 by then. Yeah, and these guys like Kirkham, he's hit his stride with these covers. And so when you start doing that, he starts worrying about it less. Entropy in Comics, what is going on?
What's up? So I'm seeing a lot of new names. So I expect to have some new subs over on my channel. Here on YouTube, we'll be doing a couple of follow-on shows as we get closer to the con here in a couple of weeks on my channel. So you want to go over there and sub me up so you don't miss any of the Southern Comic Geek and Shelby Comics goodness.
So Beckerman says that Yannick is a value artist, has a pre-con list. Reach out, see if he has a spot. Oh, there you. Ooh, watercolor Swamp Thing. Now that sounds interesting. Beckerman says subbed.
Let you, Beckerman.
Flo says now subbed up Shelby. There you go.
Thank you.
So yeah, that'd be dope. Let me see. Okay. Well, see, Beckerman's done give me some ideas, and I'm hoping to pick up some original art. One day I'm going to get to the level of Beckerman and have like original art like that. So we can all have goals in life. Yeah, he said he's an art junkie. Yeah, he is.
So we got the two we live. Do you have artists or what do you know this? Do you know the Mirandas?
So these are the brothers that are, you know, Oh crap! The We Live story, which was, I have not caught up on the current run. I did read the original run because of Mark of Legion of Comics and the other folks that he had on his panel talked me into it. It's a very neat read. If you haven't, you can get the trade for relatively inexpensive. There's actually QR codes that you can listen to music at certain scenes in the book.
Ooh.
And so it's pretty neat. So they are one of the brothers, I forget which one it is a little more is a little better speaking English than the other one is. So I think he did most of the talking. But again, going back to what we were saying about Kyle New and them, very humble, very appreciative. I really wish I had picked up one of the metal covers for We Live, because then that's what I would definitely get signed by them. I don't have anything currently on the list because I sold my We Live stuff, my first set. And Mark pushes that more than BT. Yeah, so Big Time Collectibles is BTC, what he's talking about.
Yeah.
They're a sponsor of Mark's, and they'll be there. Actually, Miko will be at Big Time Collectibles booth. So,
Bill Morrison. I'll be honest with you, I don't have any We Live left either. All right, so Bill Morrison. This is a classic artist. You probably recognize his art style. He was pretty, he was very elderly once he did The Simpsons and Futurama in the 90s.
Okay.
He did a lot of Mad Magazine work through the year, Disenchantment. Now, here's something for the chat. I own the original Gold Key comic for Yellow Submarine in 9.2 or above ungraded condition. I bought it probably 10 years ago for about $800. So that book is definitely around a $2,500 book now. Would you get something like that signed?
Not unless he worked on it.
He did the art.
Oh, did he? Well, so Beckerman's saying he's not elderly. Are you talking about a different? Are you not talking about a different Bill Morrison?
Maybe a different one. Maybe a different artist I'm thinking of.
So Thunder God, yeah, we could see that chat. I didn't see any of the other stuff if you mentioned that. So he said Bill Morrison is a friend and he worked his booth for him at Planet Comic Con. So
really, all right. So different artists that I was thinking of. I was thinking of different things. See, I love the chats keeping me straight.
Exactly. So I'm looking at some Swamp Things. Thank you
really?
For spending.
What Yellow Submarine stuff did he do then? That I mean, I can't think of any recent Yellow Submarine.
The Simpsons, Futurama, Mad Magazine.
And Yellow Submarine's the Beatles, and I can't think of any Beatle-related stuff that's come out in 30 years.
So that, yeah, thank you, Beckerman, for spending my money for me, because I'm looking at the Swamp Things that.
Oh, the Simpsons version. Oh, so this isn't even all right. Blah blah.
Cover of Rolling Stone.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. I know what you're talking about now.
All right. Cool.
And I think I don't even have the right image. All right.
So
we already talked about Yannick.
We did. And so Brent Peoples, I know that he did the inks or whatever for Liefeld on Major X. Yeah, whatever. So, Carl Potts, writer isn't he a writer for
was he the writer for Punisher and Moon Knight? Yeah, because that's
Jim Lee
art there. So he must have been the writer. And I'm assuming it was probably not the original Moon Knight. I'm assuming this was probably the Moon Knight, the second series.
Yeah, probably so. On the Punisher War Journal, yeah, I've got the ones where Wolverine and Punisher are fighting. Which are Jim Lee covers. Those are some of the ones I'd like to get, but I don't know if I'm willing to pay the extra money for me to get.
I actually have the Punisher War Journal with Daredevil on the cover, not this cover, but another.
Yeah, I've got this cover too, but I'm not a huge Daredevil fan, so I whittled it down to issues 6 and 7, which are first battle of Punisher and Wolverine.
All right, so y'all know I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan. That is my #1 collection. I'm only about 15 issues away from a full set of Volume 1. Mark Russell, Fantastic Four Life Story, second, and then the book Second Coming.
Doesn't he do was it Not All Robots, or is it, what's the name of it, by AW Upshot, AWA Upshot? Yeah, I don't know why your comment is showing up Thunder, but you're not typing them in the wrong chat, are you?
I mean, we're seeing this comment.
Yeah,
what you're saying, so I don't know what you're talking about unless you're doing bad comments and YouTube has finally figured you out and censors you. Which,
so Fantastic
God.
The Fantastic Four life story, is that like the Spider-Man life story? Is that
it is? It's the same kind of genre, and each issue is a decade. So there's the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. So 5 or 6 issues. I have them all. I'm assuming he's the writer, is what I would assume.
Mark is a writer, yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, so Miko, we were just talking about.
Yeah, so and then Beckerman says that going back to Bill Morrison, he did the movie posters in the 80s. Little Mermaid poster, the one with the what on the top of the castle. There you go. That'd be a cool thing to get the movie case.
That would be cool to do. See if he do a remark on it too.
Look, all right, Thunder. Here you go. Add moderator.
Oh
Thunder
my God!
don't
do that. We won't ever get him to shut up now.
So Frank, is it Thierry? He's done a couple of things. I don't have him on my list to see because none of the stuff was like, okay, yeah, I'm willing to wait in line for him.
Yeah.
Freddie Williams II. Of course, he's doing the Power Rangers and Godzilla right now. He did Batman and TMNT. I actually have bought 2 sketch covers from him, one of Michelangelo and one of Raphael, and both I have sent in, and both have come back 9/8. So cross your fingers. But I plan to eventually, now whether I do it at this con depends on how everything else goes. But I plan on eventually getting one with Leonardo and Donatello, since there are only 4 turtles and not 5 Jennifer. And this guy right here, he's done like several, like he done like the Sunkissed Tuna.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So he's done like several little things like that. Now, except for Jim here, these other ones, I don't know if you're familiar with them or anybody in the chat's familiar with them.
I love this art that's showing for Andy Bellinger, but I'll be honest, I don't recognize the name, nor Psycho Gorman or Mother Trucker. I don't recognize either of those.
Got to be indie titles.
Bjorn for Ben Becker. I mean, this looks almost like a Calvin and Hobbes type of art.
Yeah.
Again, not familiar with. Jim Califor. I mean, it's a Spider-Man 2099. Looks like the new series.
Well, so that's in Exiles, is where he drew some in Exiles. So for me, the thing with him is going to be I've got a book called Secrets of Valiant Universe #1, and I've gotten several of the artists, because there's a bunch of them, to sign that book, and Armorines. So if you remember the title Valiant title Armorines that went for I think like 13 or 14 issues, he did the art for that.
Okay.
So I actually picked up page 6, issue #1 of Armorines just the other day, the original art on it. So Chris Campana, don't recognize him, but it looks like he's doing some work on the indie scene with TMNT and Red Sonja.
Yeah, I'm liking the art it's showing in this little square, definitely.
Then Jeremy Clark, he goes to every con.
And I accidentally said Bagley early, but Sam Dela Rosa for
yes.
I apologize. Surprised Lord called me out on that one.
So Jeremy Clark is an inker. That cover right there, he inked. I've got a copy of it signed by him. But he is so Jim's another value guy, solid art. Oh, there you go, Beckerman. There you go. I've got some stuff lined up for him. So I also get my box when I'm doing this. I get my sketch covers that I keep, and I put that put those in here so that because it really depends for me. Now there's some that priority wise, I'm going to see these people if I don't see nobody else, because especially like if they're older. Matina, for example, he doesn't come around here that much. So
no.
Yeah, so you want to get those, but the sketch covers, I take the sketch covers because I might go to a table. If I got 5 people that I could take or leave a sketch for, that I'd like them all, but let's face it, nobody has infinite funds. So I say, well, this guy's empty. I can get this done by him as opposed to somebody else. So yeah, I've got my sketch covers in my short box as well. But Jeremy Clark told me the last con that I saw him at, he said, I'm getting too old to do this. I'm like, dude, you're my age. What are you talking about too old? But he goes around to all the various cons, and I see him everywhere. He's from Arkansas.
Okay.
So that's why I see him a lot.
All right. So the next two, Jamie Coker, don't recognize, and Joe Corey, illustrator. I like the art that I see here, but there's nothing that I recognize off the top of my head that they've done. Sam Dela Rosa, I think we all know. He's actually lives here in Texas, so he comes to these cons very often.
Yeah, really nice.
Super nice guy once you actually get to know him. He can be a little off-putting at first, but $10 signature. He likes to sell his own comics at his booth, and he'll sign them for you and stuff. So he always has a nice selection if you don't want to bring anything.
He does some really good remarks for the price he charges. I'm not a huge remark fan because it covers up so much of the book, but with the hologram covers, anniversary hologram covers, I've gotten him to do the ones that he had something to do with the book for. So I've already gotten those done. So I didn't have anything on this list for him. Beckerman, like I was saying, there's not Jim is one that I would like to do just because of his work at Valiant back in the day. That's one. Now you got me wanting a Swamp Thing cover from Yasmin. That's another one. Other than that, I'd like to get, as I mentioned earlier in the show, I've got a Justice League blank sketch cover, and I'd like to get it divided out and get like each artist to essentially do almost a remark, right? Just a mini sketch, and then that way you can have them all. It'd be way too expensive for me to at when I finally got it filled up to send it off for grading, because you'd have to pay CBCS all these huge fees. So it'd be something that I would just slab myself, like one of those self-slabbing things, and go with it.
All right. So David DeGrand, Mad Magazine, SpongeBob, Simpsons. Definitely we've seen his art. I'm not a big cartoon. This looks like, I guess, Nickelodeon whenever they did their comics. Ariel Diaz, they have as an illustrator, but I know she's done some comic covers and very underrated artist, in my opinion. I love Ariel Diaz art.
Very Art Germ-esque.
Yeah.
So she's really nice. I got her to sign a couple of prints for me last year when I was at Dallas Fan Expo when I saw her. Got those signed. She has done, I think, Red Sonja, maybe a Vampirella cover, which is right up her alley if you've ever seen her work. And that's a good example of it right there with
what's her name from G.I. Joe?
Yeah. The Baroness.
Baroness, thank you.
What's going on, Nosh? What's happening in the building? And Beckerman says Jam Peaks. Yeah, got a few of those. Yeah. And I'd also like to pick up some original art too. But that's just going to depend on the prices. when I went to ICCC in Nashville, which is largely just a Star Wars show, they had the Jim Lawson and Steve Levine, who were very instrumental in early Turtle stuff there. And I was able to pick up one of Jim Lawson's original art pages, or actually original art cover. And they were fairly accessible there because most everybody was there for that. It says, I got a Marvel Comics 1000 blank with Jim Shooter remark, black suit Spidey and Roy. Oh, nice.
That's cool. That is cool.
Well, yeah. So I'm sure now that Quesada is unemployed, you will see him more often at the.
Quesada is somebody I've always loved his art. I don't know why he doesn't do more nowadays, but
well, he will.
He will now, right?
Yes, he's got plenty of time on his hands now. Well, and he'll probably lay low for a little while. Dan DiDio did the same thing, kind of laid low, let everybody kind of get it out, and then now he's actually on the con scene. He was at MegaCon. Dan was. Yeah, I think he'll be back in the game, in the swing of things now. So not familiar with
not familiar with Chris Enute, but Zenoscope usually does some high style artwork. Joe Esma, I loved Morning Glories. I didn't know that he really did a lot on Riverdale, but definitely someone I wouldn't mind finding a few books and getting signed. I'm assuming he may be the writer. I'm not sure.
It looks like artist because you got this print right here, and that's his signature right there.
Is it? Okay, I can't see from my poor eyes. I need to get some new glasses. Steve Irwin, I feel like is an older artist.
Yeah.
Do you recognize this Deathstroke?
Yeah, I don't think that's from the New 52 Deathstroke.
No, I don't think it is either. I feel like it's more of an older Deathstroke.
And I don't have anything from Steve Irwin to get signed. Same way with Jordan Gunderson.
Turner's company, Aspen Comics. Right. Again, always great art style coming from that company. Josh Hickson. I mean, I apologize. I recognize this cover, the Batman Fortnite cover, but
well, he must have done the interiors because this is a Capullo cover, unless he did the inks for Capullo. But so I wasn't into the Batman Fortnite thing, so I see what you did, Thunder. I see what you did there. Austin Janowski, he's a really nice guy. I met him at Fan Expo in New Orleans, and after everybody bailed, when I say everybody, almost everybody, Alan Davis, Art Adams were supposed to be there. There was one other big creator who was supposed to be there. I was excited about. They all bailed. He was there, and so I talked to him for a good while. This is the homage cover that came in the Comic Tom box, but there are.
I was about to say, if you subscribe to Comic Tom, you've definitely seen
his work.
These books.
Right. So he's got more covers that are like that. They're homages. Okay.
Yes.
That so I picked those up from him and got him to sign it, and he's got that Zombies are Human Too book that I picked up from him there as well. Ryan Kinkade, cover artist.
Yeah.
Does a lot of stuff. Not familiar with Tony Cordos.
No, but if he's an artist, I like what I'm seeing here with this cyborg sketch, the cyborg art. It's pretty cool.
Or Andres Labrada.
Yep, I recognize, but again, not anybody I seek out. Chris Mad, Dead End Kids. I recognize the name of the comic. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Might search them out. Andrew Magnum. This must be the new Evil Ernie that's come out. And then Gabriel Magnum. I'm assuming they're related.
I would assume. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Tony McTeague.
Oh,
Dawn
Dawn.
McTeague.
Yeah. So she did this cover for Punchline 1.
I don't think I've ever seen this cover.
I hadn't either until I looked it up, because I was looking it up to see if it was something else I wanted to get her to sign. There wasn't. Tony Moy, aren't you a Doom fan?
I'm a big Doom fan. I've never seen this art. I don't know what it's from or anything. It also says X-Files, so I'm not. I mean, is that the 90s? Topps Comics X-Files or the newer X-Files? I don't know. Mm-hmm. So Mog, we actually had on the Madhouse.
Yes.
Really great artist. I bought a metal print of hers and a lady, not a lady death, but a death, high cost of living death comic cover from her. So really great artist. She does a lot of this mashup of like samurai and comic characters. That's pretty cool. I hate to say it, but all these different Cult of Dracula covers, I can't tell the artists apart from one another.
So you're saying they're like the Marvel.
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying that they're all cute girl in a weird way art. There's a cute little Harley Quinn with the 4-leaf clovers and butterflies and stuff. So Marissa Pope, might find a print or something get signed, because it is nice art. My good friend Tone Rodriguez, we grew up about 15 miles from each other.
And real nice guy. Visits the cons down here because he's from down here. So.
Yeah, he still lives in Louisiana, still the hometown there. We message each other probably about once a month, just say hi to each other and stuff. So good friends.
So surprisingly, Fabrice, they did not list him as the co-creator of Spider-Man Noir. Usually they do. So he co-created Spider-Man Noir. And I got him to sign the first appearance when I saw him at Fan Expo, which used to be the old Wizard World, New Orleans. So got him to sign that. The Fair Square Comics he's got this magazine that he and his wife put out. And it's got articles about creators and various stuff. It really kind of pushes diversity. And of course you can get into whether or not it feels forced or whatever, regardless. I bought a couple copies. There was actually an exclusive. J. Scott Campbell did a cover for one of his magazines. And then, I bought it and read the articles. And so it was pretty neat. But it looks like he's done some stuff for heavy metal as well.
So Gavin Smith, I actually do know because I'm a little bit of a Trekkie and I have a lot of Star Trek comics. Not someone I'd seek out. Arthur Sudam, I'm surprised so far down the list, does some really cool DC covers.
So yeah, and Kez Wilson, I remember The Power of the Atom.
Yep. That was an 80s book.
Yeah. Renee, of course, we were talking about Renee earlier. And so anytime Michael Golden, usually Mike Zeck and John Beatty, I think she represents all of those. She's going to be there. Interesting story about Renee is that she actually colored. I have a sketch cover that's a Hulk 181 type scene, Wolverine going after Hulk. And the art was done by Scott Hanna, who was an inker for Spider-Man, John Romita Jr. in the early 2000s. It's signed by John Romita Sr. And,
nice.
And it is inked by Renee.
Really?
And so she colored it. And when she colored it, she whited over Stan Lee's signature because that book has Stan Lee's signature on it.
That is funny.
Yeah, it's quite the story. But it's one of those stories that I didn't know about it. The guy that sold me the book, I ran into him at a con in Huntsville a couple months ago, and he was like, Stan Lee signed the book. I said, do what? And so I looked at it when I got home. I said, "Dad, gummit, you can see it now." I don't know if it's good that I saw it. It's an interesting story, but I don't know.
no, it's interesting.
What's up, T. Ravis Comics? Another one of the channel members.
Yeah. So I'd like to meet her and get some things. I know John Byrne talks highly about her in interviews and stuff.
Yeah, she's the Spider-Man 20. Is it 25 or 26 is the hologram cover? And
20.
that she did the inks or the colors in one of those stories in there. So I got her to sign that book. And of course, as you can see with the book here, she did some work with John Byrne and She-Hulk. So
I have several John Byrne signed books. I'm see if I've got anything that she maybe edited or did the art, did the color on, and do that. So I'm not sure who all down here is unable to attend. Obviously, Evan Doc Shanner is unable. Cersei's Lee, I recognize this cover, but it doesn't say unable to attend. But I don't know if all of these people are unable to attend.
Yeah, these people right here are not going to be there. So originally this one was going to be here. Evan or Shanner is unable to attend. And so Stephanie Phillips, Dave Johnson, and Dan Panosian were all going to be there originally, and then they got moved to this unable to attend thing.
Now, Anna, I'm assuming is attending, and I do recognize this Vampirella cover, but I couldn't tell you anything else she's done.
Yeah, I recognize like Phillips's work, and of course this is Batman Adventures, the continue or whatever, the animated series stuff.
Yeah,
and I think this is the newer Harley Quinn stuff here.
Yeah, and Dan Panosian, I think is a writer. Am I thinking that right? I know, recognize the name. He's done a lot of things.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But I do appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. We've got 16 likes. We got 7 people still hanging out with us. And of course, anybody that is watching this on the rewind, feel free to hit that like button as well. I'm also going to drop Shelby's, I did have Shelby's link copied, and then I copied something else. So I'm going to drop Shelby's link in the chat again. If you're not already subbed up to Shelby Comics, I'll be over on his channel talking up as we get in closer to Dallas Fan Expo. And Thunder God still hasn't left, even though he said he was going to. And he says, no, Shelby, he's an artist.
He's an artist, Dan Panosian. Okay, thank you.
He's like, get it right, Shelby. Get it right.
That's why I have you, Thunder.
So yeah, and of course we're talking mostly about the comic guest. There are a couple of voice actors. Rob Paulson, who said, "Jay Brian, why day night?" Matter of fact, talking about Rob.
Hey, Dad, Brian, what do you want to do tonight? Oh wait, I know. We're going to watch Southern Comic Geek. All of us. Nerf. Oh, and don't forget it's Raphael and Ninja Turtles. He's here too. So, cowabunga!
So he's going to be unable to attend Dallas Fan Expo. So Katie Sackhoff, who not only did the live action Bo-Katan, but she also did the voice for the cartoon. She's going to be there. Michael Rooker, same way, the actor as well as the voice actor. So Rob Paulson's not going to be there, and whoever this person is. A lot of the Mandalorian folks are going to be there. And then, of course,
I hear Ashley is such a fun person to meet. That would be neat. These lines are usually so long. Katie Sackhoff, I thought she would be nicer.
Okay.
I've met her before. She has a lot of people around her, and you can't get within 5 foot of her. She keeps a circle around her.
Well, see, Shelby, a lot of women do that with you, though.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's called restraining order, Shelby.
Yeah, that's 100 yards.
So what was funny when I went to Pensacon last year, this Brett was the voice of Mickey Mouse, was next to Ashley Eckstein. And Ashley's line was down the whole daggum hall. And so the Pensacon is in a Coliseum. And so the hallways on each level wrap around. And so, I mean, it's just people lined up just to see her. Nobody's in Mickey Mouse's line.
Oh.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm talking with some other people. And I said, "Oh, no, Mickey's not getting any signatures today. Huh? That's sad. That sucks." And so everybody started laughing. And I got to thinking, I was like, how loud am I that this guy is over there going, "Yeah, screw you." Thinking
Right.
because I'm sure these guys get something to show up. I mean, you don't just show up and like some minimum amount they make or something.
They so they get their hotel, of course, for free. They get meals, they get their airplane ticket and stuff, and such, and then some kind of minimum of whatever, thousands of dollars, and then there's a percentage deal based on the signatures and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of Dexter. If you're a Dexter fan,
yeah, they just recently announced these.
Big Michael C. Hall fan. Jennifer Carpenter. They met on the Dexter and are now actually married. So brother and sister got married. I do not know these WWE people. I apologize.
Recognize Ric Flair.
Oh, Ric Flair, of course.
Brendan Fraser.
Love me some Brendan Fraser. Love me some Nathan Fillion. Stargirl, I guess that's canceled now. What the WB's canceled all their series.
Well, last time I heard that was like one of the ones they had not yet.
They did not cancel. Okay. Elijah Wood, you know, he's been an actor since a child. He's a child actor. And
yeah.
Sean Astin, of course, you know, Rudy. Dominic Monaghan's been a lot of things. Billy Boyd, you just don't see. I haven't seen him very many things, but Dominic Monaghan, of course, was in Lost. Wasn't he the one in Lost?
Oh, I don't know.
And he also did that weird insect show for a while when he went around.
So yeah, Thunder God's saying that it's not canceled yet.
Not canceled yet.
Of course, a lot of stuff is getting the axe, so it remains to be seen. He also knows the marital status of these people. It says they're divorced.
And they're divorced now. Glad you're keeping up with that.
Yeah, well, you know, he reads People magazine. So
okay.
Ming, she's done some other stuff.
I'm a huge Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, and of course she played in that, so I would love to be able to meet her. Gina Carrero, she of course got booted from The Mandalorian, but she was the female in Deadpool, the
total Colossus.
Yeah, and then Giancarlo Esposito. What can you not say? I mean, he's been in the Breaking Bad, Mandalorian, of course. Katie Sackhoff, already talked about. Kevin Smith, Jason Mewes. I doubt we'll get to Ashley.
Yeah, well, so my thing is these. I obviously would love to have the comics and the art and all that kind of stuff, and especially when you get into the celebrities, they're very expensive. They're more expensive than
they are. Yes, and some autographs can be. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that it becomes very cost prohibitive, and you know, like last year, because there were so few comic creators, I was able to see Kevin Conroy. You saw Billy West do the intro that I played at the start of the show. That was at Fan Expo last year. And so but with this year, with the comic lineup that we got, I just don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I mean, they get pushed down the thing. And again, cost prohibitive, because if you look at some of these buy autographs now,
I mean, it's part of getting an autograph. I mean, I hate the waiting in line, but you actually kind of meet the person a bit, you know?
Right.
I mean, otherwise I can go on eBay and buy a freaking autograph, probably cheaper.
Sure. Yeah, because the autographs don't really hold their weight a lot of times until, like, say somebody dies or whatever like that.
And everything I always get personalized, even usually on comic books. I'll have them say to Shelby or something like that. I like that personalized.
Well, I know Larry Hama and some of the other creators, like, if you get it personalized, they don't charge you for it, because they know, hey, you're not going to sell it to somebody because you got it personalized, versus the guy that shows up with 20 stacks of books. They know that you're fixing to go get them,
flip them
and get them sold next year when they finally come back from CGC, or 2 years from now when they come back from CBCS.
And some don't even charge. So, for example, Tone Rodriguez, we was talking about, he does not charge for any autographs. He'll tell you straight off he got paid so much money with Stray Dogs that he does not have to charge for autographs. I don't think he even charges to, I know the Dallas, the Cowtown that he's usually at, he doesn't even charge to come show up there. So, top-notch guy.
Yeah, so, like, and then you can get some packages like here with the Encino Man or the Dexter Duo.
And you might better expect all these to probably $100. I think Katie Sackhoff, when I got her autograph, it was $100.
That Team Up Duo, get you a picture with both of them, $225. You know, and I know some people are there just for them, and it's not really the comics, which is fine. This would be fun, but I mean, it's $125, and there's so much other stuff to do. So just me, but other people. But if the celebrity side is your thing, I mean, you know, all for it. But you know, I just do it if I can get in there, and if there's not a big, because Kevin Conroy's signature wasn't all that expensive.
And you know, throw it out there. I'm not sure how you feel about it. If there are some comic artists or writers that anybody would like to get something signed for them, if it costs me something, normally I just, for friends, I'll, you know, charge you for what it costs me to get the signature. So yeah, if there's not too many requests, I'm always happy trying to help some fans out with getting a book or something signed for you. That's no big deal to me.
Yeah, I've done that before for people, you know, that were like big fans of somebody and they couldn't get to the con, or, you know, they don't, person's not next to them or near them in a con. So
yeah,
I've done that before too. All right, well, let me stop sharing this screen right here. And again, do appreciate the folks that are still hanging out with us. We've got 8 folks between Twitch and YouTube watching us. So if you are on YouTube watching this live or on the rewind, be sure to smash that like button. And, of course, on Twitch, the applicable sign of appreciation would be appreciated. So I did drop Shelby's link several times, and it is also in the video description below. A couple of other things that are in the description of the video below are a coupon. We talk about spending money. How about let's save some money on supplies? We got bcwsupplies.com. Use the coupon code SCG to save yourself 10% on your checkout. There's also a link that just will take you straight to BCW's website if you're not familiar with them.
I use that code all the time.
Hey, there you go. YouTube members and supporters of the channel, whether on YouTube and or Patreon, I do appreciate it. And most of these people are creators of their own. So if you are familiar with, or not familiar rather, with any of the names that you see up here, take some time to write those names down. Go give them a sub up, give them a follow. I'm sure that they will appreciate it. As I do appreciate Tim dropping the $5 super chat appreciate you, Tim, for making it rain in the right direction. So, yep. Thanks, Nosh. Glad you got to see us as well. And look, if you will subscribe to Shelby Comics, I mean, he'll even give you a hug, bud. He'll even give you a hug. So we will be watching both of our channels for some announcements on the next show as we get closer to Dallas Fan Expo. And Shelby, you got anything else?
No, we'll probably plan for at least next weekend, maybe same time, but my channel. And then maybe we'll have time to squeeze in one more on your channel, like a day or two before the actual con, and or something. I'm not sure. We haven't really worked out a plan or anything, but yeah, expect other videos is what I'm getting at.
All right. Thank you, folks. With that, we are out of here.